Alright everyone, welcome back. Today we're in the Sound. We're in the Western Sound. And we're going to be trying for fluke, maybe sea bass if we're lucky. But that's it. We're not going to go for porgies today. Today I'm really going to try to focus on maybe, slightly bigger profiles to avoid the porgies. Just really key in on the possibility of getting a fluke. Been tough for me. I really haven't been all that successful finding fluke this season, but I do know I can get to some areas now today. The wind's not going to be too bad. I'm working with the current right now. Should be working with it when I return, but I will be hitting up a lot of different spots. So I'm gonna be working a lot of different like boulders, anywhere from like 15 to maybe 45 feet, something like that. So let's just try to find these fluke. We're gonna look for bait. Definitely want to find bait. So gonna go work structure that I think there may be fluke, and if I find bait, I'm just definitely gonna work it a little bit more. Water temps are 72. They dropped. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it's okay. You know, anytime you get like a little break in the water temps in the summer, I think it's good. I'm just gonna keep working a little shallower until we find some life. And I'm not really finding much life. All right, we're getting even shallower. And put some more Procure on. I really haven't gotten anything but sea robins yet. So, I don't know. I might have to go. I keep contemplating whether or not I should make this jig head lighter. I'm at a 1 ounce. Current's moving a little bit. I'm moving at like 0.8. Be much more bait over here. So I'm gonna drop down. This is more like it. So I'm still keeping that 1 ounce jig. I figure, why not? I'm still gonna work these deeper 35-foot areas still. But if I'm not getting like any fish, then I'll work a little shallower. But I'm seeing a lot of bait. This is good. I don't know what it is, but it's good. Much better looking screen than I've had all morning. It's around 33 feet. It's about 30 feet where the top of the boulders are. I definitely could get away with lighter weight, but I don't know. Sometimes these bigger paddle tails don't. Oh, dang! Caught me off guard. Dang, dude. It's probably a bluefish. So yeah, almost positive I just broke off from a bluefish. Pretty clean break. Kind of need a bigger hook, I think, for this thing. I don't really know if that's enough. Is that porgy? Big porgy took that shad. Sheesh. Alright, we're looking over some prime real estate here. I mean, look at all those boulders. We were marking bait in this area when we first arrived. And I got broke off by what I think was a bluefish. And after that, haven't really been seeing much bait. Just a few porgies here and there. The water's actually clearer than I would have thought, so I'm using more natural colors today. What is that? Porgy? Whoa. I'm just gonna go right up against these rocks. I'm really looking for a fluke that's like on these rocks. There's a lot of little bait here. All right. So there's fluke around. That is a baby. It's a cool fluke. It's probably a big porgy. Yeah, it's a porgysaurus. Sheesh. Wow. Dang. Man. I mean, I wasn't planning on keeping porgies, but I think I'll keep one or two when they're that big. It's an easy fillet job. Yeah, man. Just for documentation purposes, let's see how... It's about 15. It's a good porgy. And they really fight pretty dang good when they get that size. Alright. I'm in some nice boulders in 22 feet. I'm just going to use this big paddle shad on a 3/4 ounce. There's not a ton of porgies around, but the ones that are around are pretty aggressive when they hit my bait. Just constantly getting pestered by them. The bait's getting fouled. And then, you know, my presentation's out of the game for the fluke. My fish finder is reading like 68-degree water temp, so it's just crazy. I don't think it's right. Definitely cooled off though. Oh, is that a nice fluke? I think it is. Can't tell how big he is. Oh yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. Oh yeah, that is a nice fluke. That is a very nice fluke. Oh, yes. Oh man, I am so excited right now. Just knew that I had to work that bigger profile for longer. It's about 20 and a half. 20 and a half inches. It's a nice one. We'll keep her. Hook came out. Oh man, they are so strong. So the way I got that guy is it's just a 3/4 ounce. I think it's a Kalen Ultimate jig head. I'll leave a link. And this is a 5.5. A 5.5 or a 4.5, I'm not exactly sure. It might be the 4.5. Elias V Fishing Extreme Shad. I think that's what it's called. I'll leave a link as well. Loop knot, 20-pound mono leader, 8-pound braid. We're in about 22 feet, 24 feet. And I'm just working boulders. There's a lot of chunky boulders. I'm just trying to make the bait as natural as possible. Current's not moving much, so it's not making it easy. I just felt that thump and I was like, whoa. I'm just gonna cast around a little bit. I'm just a little confused by the drift. I'm trying to find a drift, like I'm trying to figure out which way this current's going. But I tell you what though, this paddle tail is a little heavier than what I'm used to jigging, and I'm getting tired. Just so much easier to jig like lightweight stuff that doesn't have much resistance in the water. Always happier to have a heavier cooler. Definitely have some fish in this area. You can see this, look at that. There's a lot of bait. This is good. This is really good sign. Look at that. Good marks on the screen. My goodness. What is that? I gotta get ready. It could be a bluefish. This totally could be bluefish. Let's loosen the drag a little bit for the initial run. Feels like foul hook porgy. What in the world? That could be a bluefish. I had a feeling these things might be around. Pretty sure that's what I was marking. Oh. The crazy thing is he didn't even kill my shad. I think that's the first time. I did smoke bluefish one time and it was good. I must say it was good, but it was a lot of work. Whoa, look at that yellow jacket. Sorry about your mouth there, bud. He should be fine. There's just like no wind. The forecast said that it was gonna get windy. I was almost contemplating like not coming out here. It was said it was gonna be like 8 miles an hour. I would say the wind didn't even get up above 5 miles an hour today. Probably the highest I saw was probably 4 or 5 miles an hour today. Let's see if we can get another fluke. That's really what I'm after. If I get another fluke, I'll probably call it. So we're just doing the same thing that we did to catch that one, which is jigging bouldery type structures in 25 feet. Oh, I felt like a thump. I can't tell if the bait's foul now. Yeah, that was a nice thump. Almost twisted it off. Definitely a bigger fish on that one. Oh, that's a big porgy. It's alright. I mean, any other day I'd probably keep him, but today's your lucky day. Look at those teeth they got. Like, when they start getting bigger, they have teeth. I think people underestimate the aggressiveness of a porgy. You really don't need bait to catch a porgy. You know, striped bass, they can open their mouth pretty big. You'll get, you know, some schooly bass that are like taking huge plugs and stuff, but that doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is a porgy. Like, that porgy thinks that he can, like, kill a fish that's half the size of him. I guess they can. Maybe they can. I don't know. Maybe with those teeth, they can like nibble at it a lot, injure the fish. I forgot my sunglasses and hat today. Not ideal, but at least I have a hood. Oh, dude, that was a fluke. Yes, he came back. It's a good one. I don't know if it's a keeper. I don't think he feels as heavy. He's good. He's good. No, he's not good. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Dang. I'm almost positive he wasn't a keeper though, so that's all right. I'm not too heartbroken about that. He was in a bad spot when he came up like that. I do love it when a fluke takes the bait aggressively like that though. It's so much fun. They have a really fun take. Like, them and sea bass, I really like the take that they have on the bait. What's funny is I think these shads work better when some fish actually like chew on them, because then the scent gets like in there. Because that second fluke, he came back for it, and usually they don't, you know, if it's not gulp, but I think that he tasted that scent probably like inside the thing and decided it was still worth a second try. It's porgy. Man, why are these things? Look at that. Like, look at that. What are you doing, man? How does he think he really can actually eat that? Look at all this bait. This is crazy. This is like such a good thing to see. That's why I don't want to really leave this area, but I kind of need to start working my way back to launch. Yeah, I think it's time to go. Nice rollers here. Alright, but yeah, that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm beat, I'm hot, tired. Gotta get back. So, yeah, it was, I mean, it wasn't an action-packed morning, but we got the right fish, you know. We got that nice keeper fluke. You know, one or two here or there, too. One that I dropped, and maybe like a baby, I forget, but not a lot of fluke, but you know, I worked a lot of spots and finally found one that was, you know, able to hit the bigger profile through the porgy. So I think that was key. I didn't catch many porgies, but you know, that was, that's what I said I was gonna do. So I guess it's just you kind of have to accept that it's not going to be as exciting of a day, but can be more productive in terms of keepers. So my fish finder is saying like 70, but I think it's not correct. I think it was like 74 this morning. Still low 70s right now is pretty low. Pretty typical day in August here at Western Sound, but thankful we got a keeper fluke. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you on the next one. Okay, so I'm sure as many of you know, I do always bleed and ice any fish that I'm going to keep. I think it just makes such a big difference. So yeah, definitely bleed and ice your fish, especially in the summer months too. That's very important. So I will say it takes some practice to fillet a fluke, especially this way where you keep both fillets intact. But I do think it's quite fast. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually faster to do the smaller fish like this. So you're seeing here, I'm pointing at where the tip of my knife is. And where it really is right near the backbone of the fish. So you're kind of just finding that groove where the backbone is and just sliding your knife along the bones, and you'll be able to feel it with your knife. And it really is a feel thing because you can't really see what you're doing, but you just kind of have to go for it. I would say just go for it, you know, give it a try. Yeah, and just take your time. But yeah, once you do that one side, then you can flip over to the other side, you know, come down on the other side of the backbone and just do the same thing. Nice fillet because we bled it. It's important. Feel the backbone right here. Right there. Just gonna put the knife right in there. I do find that the darker side is a little bit trickier because it's harder to, I think, see your knife blade, and the fillets are a little thicker. So you know, again, this actually works really good when the fish is smaller, but when the fish is thicker, it's definitely easier to just cut along its backbone and basically do 4 pieces, just because it's so thick. And there we go. We'll cut those sides off. I may not win any prizes, but I think we did okay. You can use this for strip bait if you want. I don't think you're allowed to use the dark side actually, but... Alright, so if anybody knows, please let me know. I know in New York you are not allowed to use the dark side, and if you use the white side, you actually have to have the dark side of the carcass like on board when you're fishing. But let me know if that's still true, and you know what happens if you freeze the fluke bellies and you bring them you know, on your next fishing trip. Is that allowed? Because you know, then you don't have the carcass with you. So I don't know, I just find it to be a very strange law. And I mean, I used to use fluke belly all the time years ago, and now I don't anymore because I just don't know the law. There you go. Fluke has barely any bloodline, so. You know, what's really nice about fluke too is they are easy to fillet because they just don't have many bones in the way of these fillets. You know, they have a very good yield for the size of the fish, and the bones are just very easy to get out. So there you saw that. No rinsing or anything. Just put paper towel, Ziploc bag. Alright, Alright, so the ingredients we have are red cabbage, got some tomatoes, some salsa verde, an onion, the tacos, cheddar cheese, hot sauce, and cilantro. Okay, we don't want too much oil. We're just not trying to fry it. We're just blackening it. So yeah, cut your ingredients as you want, and I don't want to cut my pieces too small, but I know if you want, more seasoning, then cut the fish pieces smaller. Alright, so this is the special sauce right here. So we're going to do this chipotle lime, which is this one. So what does that read? It says salt, chipotle, lime, cumin, garlic, onion, and coriander. And it says delicious for fish tacos. Well, what do you know? Okay, so it's just gonna get a little more flavor. Alright, so I'm frying this, but I really did put a little too much oil. You really kind of almost want to blacken it a bit. So a little less oil, still do the butter, and then blacken it. Put too much oil. These are ready. That smells so good. It depends on the thickness of the fish, but these probably took 3 minutes on each side, roughly. It's so good, right?
So good. Amazing.
That looks pretty good.
It's amazing. This is my first taco ever. The best, right? So good.
Wow, that is hard to beat. That is hard to beat.